using my radio tease mentality throughout the show, and I will finally get to it. Tuesday, I had an extended conversation with a source very close to the Chicago Blackhawks. And initially, my question was just something about strategy. I said, when Jeremy Colliton says X, does he mean this or this? My phone rang, and the source had a lot of things to tell me. I can't share all of it, but I can use it to inform my opinions going forward. I will tell you that after the San Jose game, before the Vancouver game, there was absolutely an ivory tower meeting of change or else given to Jeremy Colliton. There was a clear message sent that if things don't get better and if things don't improve, we will take it upon ourselves to do it ourselves. Okay, that message was made very clear to Jeremy Colliton. I'm not sure who the people in that meeting were, but if you've been a Blackhawks fan for a long time, you could probably connect some dots and figure it out. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. The Hawks played in San Jose Tuesday, November 5th. They flew back on Wednesday, no practice Wednesday. They had a game on Thursday, no morning skate. So the new system that they played on Thursday against Vancouver was implemented without a practice. It was put in a meeting. Okay? So there was no on-ice implementation of this new system. Also remember, that was the game after which, on the radio postgame show, Dylan Strome said, we went back to last year's system and we were a lot more comfortable. That was a quote he said after Thursday's win over Vancouver. Okay, so the evidence is stacking up that something happened between Tuesday and Thursday that made Jeremy Colliton change his system despite no practice. It was the meeting I'm telling you about. Another factor, a lot of the Blackhawks veterans were very unhappy about a lack of communication from the head coach. Guys not knowing if they're in or out, guys not knowing where they stand, guys not knowing when they'd be playing and when they wouldn't be, and that was addressed as well. So there was, and this should probably make you feel good as a Hawks fan, that there was a bit of a PB slap here. And they brought the kid up, Colliton, and said, look, man, this is not working. Fix it fast or else. And it was fixed, and since that time, the Hawks have taken 7 of 8 points. So make of it what you will. It's what I was told, but there it is. That's what happened between the San Jose and Vancouver game. There was a meeting, and there was an ultimatum given. So I hope that makes you feel good. I hope it makes you believe that the system's going to stay the way it's been. That's what informed my opinions in the first part of this show. This is the system. For better or worse, they're going to try to win the way they've been playing over the last 5 games. And I think, James, I don't want to speak for you, but I think you agree that with this roster, that's the best route to go.
Why did it take somebody basically like pulling Jeremy Colliton in by the collar and saying, hey, stupid, change or go away?
Well, I think
that's kind of mind-boggling to me that that's what it took to get him to realize that, you know what? Your shit don't stink, bro. It's not good.
But it does stink, though. They told him it does stink.
You're sorry. I screwed that up.
Poop analogy wrong.
You know what? Eliminated in the post podcast editing.
Errors will live forever. But here's why it took a long time. Okay, first game in Philly, they lost. Then they lost to the Sharks, a bad game. They lost to the Jets in overtime. Then they beat the Oilers. They beat the Blue Jackets. Played well against the Caps and lost. Played well against Vegas and lost. Then things started to sort of fall apart. Smoked by the Flyers. Smoked by the Canes. Then they beat the Kings 5-1, so it felt like a bounce back. After that was the Nashville brutal loss, right? Then they come back and lose to LA. They lose 4-3 in overtime, but were absolutely dominated for 60 minutes in that game. They beat the Ducks. Then the San Jose game happens. So you've got this stretch of games where the Hawks aren't just losing. They're getting dominated. And that San Jose game, that was the final straw. They got back from San Jose, and that meeting was called immediately. Welcome home. Let's talk.
Yep.
And it was necessary, and it worked. Now, here's the question, and this is, I don't know the answer to this, and we won't know for a while. Once this happens to a coach, and the players know about it, right? They obviously know about it. They're probably part of the reason that the meeting happened in the first place. I'm sure some of the leadership on this team said, something needs to change. Someone spoke out. Someone spoke up. Okay? Now can Colliton get back the faith of the team? Or now that he's been scolded in front of them, does he lose their respect from here on out? That's the question I ask, and that's what I don't know the answer to, and no one really knows yet, right? We were told early on last season that Patrick Kane was one of the first Hawks to buy in to Jeremy Colliton. He was one of the first guys to say, you know what, I like what this guy's doing. Let's trust him. Let's believe in him, and that's sort of when things started to turn around. Has he lost other guys in the locker room? That's the question, and maybe his willingness to admit a mistake or his willingness to listen to his players directly or indirectly, maybe that will win them back to him.
Yeah.
But they've looked like a different team. They've played like a different team. Remember, after that Vancouver game, not only was that where Dylan Strome said, we went back to the old system, that was a game where Patrick Kane and Andrew Shaw were doing like a comedy routine in the locker room. Like Shaw was pretending to be Kane, and Kane was pretending to be Shaw. And it was just like, you could sense the relief on the team, and that's not just from picking up a win. That's knowing that things going forward are going to change. And I think it was very obvious that something, I know for a fact that something happened, but we can pinpoint that date all season. You and I are going to point to Thursday, November 7th as some sort of turning point.